One of the most successful military commanders in history was also one of the youngest. Pharaoh Thutmose III of Egypt conquered more territory than any other pharaoh before or after him, all before he was 30. He is considered the founder of the Egyptian Empire, and his name literally means born of the sun god Ra. In this episode, we'll find out how he came to power so young, why he's been called a one-man army, and what caused the premature end of his glorious reign. All that and more coming up only here. It's me. Welcome to the channel. Join me each week as we explore the forgotten tales of our ancient ancestors and the secrets they left behind. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode. In 1479 BCE, Queen Hatshepsut died. The throne of Egypt then passed to her stepson, the 12-year-old Thutmose III. Hatshepsut had ruled as regent for her deceased husbands, Thutmose II, half-brother and her own nephew, Thutmose III, during the last several years of his life. So she had prepared the way for his rule and now acted as his chief advisor until his death. However, he still had much to learn about being pharaoh. Thutmose III's rise to power was somewhat unique in that his mother, Queen Isabella, was not the great royal wife, but rather a minor wife of Thutmose II. This meant that Thutmose III was not actually in line for the throne, but Isabella was quite ambitious for her son. She wanted him to become the next pharaoh, and so she used her influence with the powerful Queen Mother Hatshepsut to secure his place in line. While Hatshepsut would eventually take over the role of great royal wife herself, her affection for her stepson was well known, and upon her death, it was she who ensured that Thutmose III succeeded her on the throne. Hatshepsut had no children of her own, and so the throne would pass to Thutmose III when she died. When Thutmose III became pharaoh, he was a child, just 12 years old. Queen Mother Hatshepsut continued to act as regent until her death in 1458 BCE. After her death, Thutmose III was finally able to assume full royal authority at age 26. His first task was to deal with a rebellion from his sister and her allies, but after some initial setbacks, he was victorious and ruled supreme. From that point forward, he would rule over a prosperous Egypt for the next several decades. While Thutmose III was undoubtedly a brilliant military leader and strategist, he could not have achieved such spectacular victories without the tools at his disposal. Ancient Egypt was one of the most technologically advanced societies of its day. Its soldiers were outfitted with the finest weaponry, including swords, bows and arrows, spears and shields. The Egyptians also developed the first war chariots, which were pulled by horses or donkeys and were equipped with a pole weapon, or archers. They also made use of composite bows, which were much stronger and more effective than the simple bows used by most other cultures. They also kept their weapons sharp by using oil and vinegar or vinegar and salt. These acids helped to keep the weapons in good condition and ready for battle. Furthermore, the Egyptians were excellent engineers and architects, and they built massive structures such as the pyramids and temples, which served as a source of national pride and unity. During his reign, Thutmose III led many military campaigns throughout Egypt and beyond. In fact, he is considered to be one of the greatest military leaders of all time due to his successful campaigns in Nubia, Syria and Palestine, Mesopotamia and Libya. During his campaign in Nubia, he defeated the Nubian king and took control of the region's gold mines. He then moved on to Syria and Palestine, where he defeated the Canaanite and Syrian kings. He also campaigned in Mesopotamia, where he fought against the Mitannians and the Casca. Finally, he turned his attention to Libya, where he defeated the Libyan king and brought the whole of Egypt under his control. A steely-eyed general and cunning tactician, Thutmose III preferred to lead from the front. Despite being just 4 feet, 11 inches tall, he was fearless in battle, often charging into the thick of the fight, sword raised high. As a result, he earned the nickname, the Little Lion King. During his campaigns, he led his army to victory in over 20 battles, often using clever tactics to outmaneuver his opponents. For example, in the Battle of Megiddo, he surprised the Canaanite army by attacking them from two sides. This battle is considered to be one of the greatest military victories in ancient history, with Thutmose III's army defeating the Canaanites decisively. Thutmose III's campaigns were not only military victories, but also diplomatic successes. He was skilled at making alliances and securing peace treaties with the rulers of other nations. For example, he made an alliance with the kingdom of Mitanni in Mesopotamia, which allowed him to focus his military efforts elsewhere. He also negotiated a peace treaty with the Hittites in Anatolia, which brought an end to the hostilities between the two empires. The vast majority of these military campaigns were conducted between the 16th and 14th centuries BC. At the height of his power, Thutmose III, his empire stretched from the Nubian desert in the south to the Euphrates River in the northeast, encompassing much of the Levant and Mesopotamia. During his reign, he expanded Egypt's wealth and power through trade and diplomacy. He established trading posts throughout the empire and maintained a navy which protected Egyptian interests in the Mediterranean Sea. He also built many temples and monuments, including the Temple of Karnak, which is still standing today. But even as Egypt flourished under Thutmose III's rule, there were signs of trouble on the horizon. A new threat was emerging in the east, a mysterious people known as the Hyksos. These nomadic warriors were skilled horsemen, and they began to raid Egyptian territory. Thutmose III knew that he had to act quickly to stop them. He assembled a large army and marched east to confront the Hyksos. But before he could engage the enemy, he was struck down by illness and died in 1425 BCE after reigning for just 54 years. He was succeeded by his son, Amenhotep III, who would go on to defeat the Hyksos and bring Egypt's northern borders back under control. Upon his death, Thutmose III was mummified and placed in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings. His legacy, however, lived on through his monuments and the stories of his deeds that were passed down through the ages. Today, he is remembered as one of the greatest pharaohs of ancient Egypt, and his name is synonymous with military genius and strategic brilliance. Now let's move on to our mini-myth. We've discussed Thutmose III's military prowess and his many victories in battle, but what many people don't know is that he was also a skilled hunter. One day while hunting, he came across a wounded lioness, and instead of killing her, he nursed her back to health. The lioness, who was the daughter of the king of the beasts, was so grateful for Thutmose's kindness that she offered him a magical amulet that gave him the power to understand and communicate with animals. With this newfound ability, Thutmose was able to gather intelligence on his enemies and even enlist the help of wild animals in his battles. The story of Thutmose and the lioness is a reminder that even the greatest warriors can be compassionate and that kindness can sometimes be rewarded in unexpected ways. What did you think of this episode? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share if you enjoyed watching, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time.